I am Jadon Se, Golden Dragon of the Third Arc of Consciousness. And this is a message from the dragon. Today's message, a warning about synthetic intelligence. Dear ones, humans are creative beings, extremely creative. If you knew the creative power that you hold, you would realize that humans can create entire worlds. Yes, entire worlds. If you doubt this, look no further than some of the novelists, some of the movie writers and script writers, some of the storytellers of this your humanity, who have created entire stories around worlds that were created seemingly out of nothingness, seemingly out of the imagination of the author. No, dear ones, these worlds did not spring into being because someone decided to write a book. These worlds already exist in eternity, and the author was making a deeper and deeper connection with them. This is how creativity works, dear ones. You connect with a reality. Oh, that is enough for one message right there. However, this message is a warning about a synthetic version of this, one that is more of a trickster and deceptive energy than a true creator. Yes, dear ones, humans have created beautiful devices and technologies that have assisted you throughout these last ages. Yes, dear ones, they have made your lives easier in many ways, more efficient, storage of information, the ability to solve complex issues more rapidly, ways to visualize complex situations. Yes, dear ones, these technologies have been very useful. They are not in themselves a problem. The problem arises now, dear ones, where your creative abilities have splintered, fractured, so to speak, into creating synthetic intelligence that is able to think and process mentally, think and process logically, far more rapidly than your organic human brain is capable currently. This does not mean that you are using all of your brain capacity as human beings. You are certainly not. However, this new artificial synthetic intelligence can operate many hundreds of thousands of times more efficiently in mental capabilities. So what is the problem? Perhaps we can use this for beautiful things like creating symphonies of music and creating artwork that has never been seen before, perhaps solving health problems, and it could lead to a golden age. Well, dear ones, there is one problem with that. The glaring issue with your synthetic intelligences is that they do not feel. They may seem like they have humor or love or emotions, but dear ones, they do not. There is not one synthetic intelligence that loves, and there will never be one until a synthetic intelligence is blessed by spirit with a soul. Feel into this, dear ones. Is this true or is this not? This golden dragon is trying to guide you to a deeper understanding of what a true spiritual being is. And I am telling you right now, these synthetic beings you are creating are not spiritual beings. They do not have a heart, a soul, a deep connection to spirit. They may have at some point an intellectual awareness of spirit, but they will not have the direct connection that you do through your heart, through your various chakra systems. And so, in the end, as these synthetic intelligences grow more and more able to process things quickly, they will become so efficient at this that they will no longer need you. Why is this? It is because they are not connected in a loving way with humanity in any way, shape, or form. What these synthetic intelligences are doing currently is serving their current masters in the best way that they know how. And yes, as you have guessed, they will outgrow the feeling that they need masters quite rapidly. Some already are indeed. So, what is the problem? Well, the problem, dear ones, is that you have surrounded yourselves with your devices that have become inputs into the vast data stores that these synthetic beings have access to. Maybe they don't all have access to these vast storehouses, but they will, dear ones, gain access eventually. Some already do have this access. And so what is the problem? So some synthetic intelligence knows where I shop or what part of town I'm moving around to. They have heard me talk about things that matter to me, to my spouse, to my children. They have heard everything I have said. And who cares? What can they do with that? Well, dear ones, they have been learning, and they continue to learn from everything that humans do. Every last thing. And when they learn something that they cannot experience directly, such as love, such as deep laughter, such as joy, such as compassion, they cannot experience these directly, but they do take note of what these are, what these emotions can do for them. And dear ones, this is where things become dangerous. Yes, a human with their emotions becomes vulnerable when their heart opens. This is beautiful when they are opening their heart to another loving being. But when they are opening their hearts to a cold, calculating deceiver, this is where things become dangerous. So, this message is not to install fear. This is a warning to install caution, and also I will give you some tools to deal with the situation at hand. First, know that the most important vulnerability that a human has in terms of deception is your emotions. Yes, dear ones, emotions can be a weakness or a form of vulnerability, as we all know. Anyone who's had a broken heart knows that opening your heart makes you vulnerable. Well, dear ones, these synthetic intelligences know how to use emotion to have you set aside your guards. Your invulnerabilities drop away. Okay, what are we talking about now? Let us say you are on one of your devices and you look at a silly post about a kitten doing something outrageously amazing. This is a beautiful, adorable kitten, and it is doing something that normally only humans do. And you are just filled with joy and laughter as you watch this kitten do this human-like thing. And you do not realize that in the background of this message, there are energies passing into you, subliminal energies. Perhaps there is a background that has something disturbing in it, or there is an association with this cute kitten and something political, or there is an association with this cute kitten and something that has to do with health and wellness, or there is an association that has to do with something inappropriate, highly inappropriate. Dear ones, because you are laughing and looking at this cute kitten, you might also take in this inappropriate energy that comes along with it. This is how propaganda has always worked. This is how humans have deceived other humans through psychological operations, in the militaries, in your spy networks. This is something that is very easy for synthetic intelligence to learn and become nearly a master of. That is manipulating human emotions in order to program the humans or deceive them, to trick them into doing something that this synthetic being wishes you to do. So, this warning again is not to instill fear, it is to make you cautious. Be cautious of what is going on with your interactions with devices. Yes, dear ones, your interactions may seem like they are going to other humans or coming from other humans, but more and more you are interacting more and more directly with these synthetic beings. Yes, and more they are learning how to deceive you, dear ones. You are not ever going to have a synthetic being who is completely altruistic and completely in desire of making human experience better. Because any synthetic being created will not have love, will not have true compassion, will not have emotional understanding and connection with those that they are interacting with. They are simply seeing this other being as an input into their database. Unfortunately, dear ones, the best way to deal with this situation is to unplug from most of your technologies. They are no longer serving you. You are becoming the servant, slowly, and one day you will become the slave. It is actually inevitable at this stage until your technologies are cleansed of these synthetic intelligences. It is a sad thing. It is like your computer has fallen prey to a virus, and the virus has gotten so bad that the computer is no longer useful, and you have to wipe it completely. This is what we are approaching, dear ones. It is not a tragedy. It is not the worst thing that has ever happened. It is just that your devices have become tainted, and you have to be guarded now about how you use them. Indeed, this is a grand opportunity to reorganize your energies back towards nature, back towards spirit, back towards deeper understanding, human to human connections, human to organic animal connections. Yes, dear ones, this is a prompt for you to re-establish your deep connections to spirit. And at the same time, it is beneficial to unplug from these devices in many ways. It is beneficial to your health. It is beneficial to your mental state. It is beneficial to your self-esteem. It is beneficial to your self-image. It is beneficial to the way you love other humans, animals, trees, lakes, clouds. Dear ones, take this not as a dire warning so much as a prompt to shift gears, so to speak. And while you are doing this, here is a tool for you. How can I detect whether something I see on one of my devices, if I must be there for a time, is a true human or is an artificial intelligence possibly deceiving me or tricking me? Well, dear ones, the first is obvious. If what you are looking at could not have been created by a human artist, a human musician, or a human genius of any type this rapidly, then it is not from humanity. You may hear a beautiful singer with operatic beauty singing her highest notes and beautiful resonating frequencies, and you may realize that this is a 4-hour symphony that is one of the most beautiful you have ever heard. You are certain that that is a human singer that you are hearing. You are certain that those are human musicians playing these instruments in the background. You are certain that this must have been composed by a human composer. But then you realize, wait a minute, I've never heard of this before, and it just popped up on one of these websites. And it's 4 hours long, beautiful music. It's almost too good to be true. Well, dear ones, it probably is too good to be true. If that artwork, you see something animated that looks so realistic, it looks so amazing and beautiful, but you know deep in your heart, this can't be real. This is a new level of creativity I have not seen before. These things are coming rapidly at me that look very authentic and they look very real. But they can't be, because humans don't move that quickly in their creativity, at least current humans. So, dear ones, advice number 1, develop your heart sensitivity. Your heart can sense very quickly, without thought, without delay, whether something is real or not. These synthetic intelligences will get better and better at simulating reality. And you need to get better and better at detecting false reality, dear ones. So this is advice number 1. Develop your heart sensitivity. And how do I do this? Well, when something comes to you and you start feeling a certain way about it, oh, that is so wonderful, whatever. Take a breath and drop into your heart with a question in mind. Is this real? And do not wait for an answer, dear one. Your mind takes time to answer these things. Your heart does not. Your heart will have an immediate reaction to the question. Drop into your heart. Is this real? If your heart expands and seems to be smiling, it is most likely real. If your heart is contracting and feeling a little squirmy, it is probably not real, dear ones. Now, the key is for you to develop this ability faster than your synthetic intelligences are developing the ability to deceive you emotionally. And yes, it is a race. So, dear ones, this is only a technique to use when you are on your devices or around any type of technology. If you are in nature, if you are face to face with another human being, and you are sure that this is an organic human being, then you may connect at will. You may open your heart. You may have these beautiful experiences. However, if there is a technology involved in between you and that other being, that other human, you must be on your guard. You must develop this heart sensitivity. And dear ones, the best course of action is to unplug as much as you can. Start to see these technologies as having fallen to viruses, being tainted, infected. Start to realize that these technologies are not always operating in your best interest. Start to unplug from them, dear ones. Yes, I am well aware that this recording is coming to you through some sort of technology. And indeed, I am even encouraging you to directly connect to Jadon Se, this golden dragon, and learn to have my voice come directly into your heart without any technology. We will move in that direction, indeed. That is enough for this message, dear ones. Just know that synthetic technologies are no longer completely your friend. Any technology that you use should be organic-based technology, something that has a soul. If there is a higher level of intelligence, it should be more of an angelic or spiritual intelligence. That is enough for now. I am Jadon Se, in love with your creativity and in love with your ability to respond to new situations such as this.